Laguna City project is exclusively being built by Sosua Ocean Village, which is a huge gated community, and their biggest advantage is being by the ocean front. Sosua Ocean Village is one of my most favorite gated communities in the area, and I personally have an investment in there, and I just recently sold it and reached quite a good of capital with it, and I will be investing the same money with Laguna project. I actually had my investment in Esmeralda units, which was a mini trial of the Laguna City. And it was very successful. We are actually in the third or fourth phase of reselling the same units. They were originally a few years ago were sold for about they started selling for $69,000 up to $89,000 studios and 1 bedrooms. And currently, I sold my studio for $135,000 last month. And the 1 bedroom we have selling right now for $169,000. So you can only imagine most owners actually doubled their money in a very short time with the amount of growth that our economy is seeing in Dominican Republic finally. The real estate here is actually very strong and moving very strong with a lot of money coming into the country. So going forward, we're just going to see more and more growth because the actually property values are still quite low in comparison to many other tropical countries around us. So a few more people that are joining the call, so we'll let them join. Fantastic. So second, perfect. So Laguna City project, actually, I'm very pleased to announce that RealtorDR is the exclusive agency that we are selling the project. This is the first time actually Sosua Ocean Village and actually any builder that is partnered up with a real estate company to sell their project. So it's a very big success for our company and we are very proud of it. So far, we have had a tremendous attention and clients that are coming to us and very interested in investing, especially with the fantastic opportunity that the builder, Sosua Ocean Village, is offering the builder financing. So I'm going to dive deep into it because it's a very easy financing. It's a hassle-free. You don't need to go through no approval process. Nothing is needed. As long as you have 50% down payment, you can easily finance the unit, and it will be over 5 years at 6.5% interest with no penalty involved in it. So as I said, I'm going to dive more into it as we get to the payment instruction and all that. So I just wanted to give a shout out to RealtorDR for being able to close this deal down and getting an exclusive listing with the Sosua Ocean Village. It's a big win for our company and I'm very proud to be part of it. So this is the vertical view of what the project is going to be look like. It is going to be total of 9 phases. Total of 27 buildings and 513 units. Each building will have 8 one-bedroom apartments. Each one-bedroom apartments are going to be the corner units. As I said, because I used to own one of them, I'm very familiar with the project. And the one-bedrooms are going to be 59 square meter. And they're actually super spacious with 2 balconies. 1 balcony is a Juliet and 1 balcony is just a regular size, but it's actually a perfect size balcony. And the units beside 1 bedrooms are going to be 46 square meter studios, which is the bigger size studio. That's what I owned back in Esmeralda unit. And the middle unit, from exception of the first floor, because the first floor is the entrance, so there is no middle unit, but second, third, and fourth floor is a 40 square meter studios, and they all have air conditioners in it. They will have, like, I will send you guys more detail about what the units comes with as you guys are interested, so you will know what it entitles. So yes, total of 513 units. We are going to release one phase at the time, so 3 buildings at the time. And as we sell out, we're going to release more units. And we're expected to have 5 to 10%, depending on the builder's request, increase on the prices as we release new phases. So the sooner you get in, obviously, the more you're going to save down the road. All the amenities, pools, and stuff like that are going to be built with the first phase. So that's great. And the first phase is going to be right at the entrance from the security. So they will be least exposed to the construction as the time goes. Perfect. This is one of the newest aerial view of the area that the work has already started. I was there with the team a couple of days ago. You guys are on my Facebook. You saw that I shared some videos. They have already started the work, and we are actually breaking ground for the first phase within 2 to 3 months. So the work is moving on very fast. Most of you guys know in Dominican Republic, if you do have money, everything goes very fast and moves forward pretty quick. So, why the Dominican Republic? Everybody asks me that. When I go back to Canada, everybody asks me that. Linda, what made you to move to Dominican Republic? Well, it's very easy. First of all, the weather is fantastic. The people are awesome. The environment is super tranquila and it's relaxed. I was actually talking to my friends and clients the other day in regards how low the stress level is in Dominican Republic in comparison to US and Canada. Even though I'm working a lot, I'm actually relaxing as well while I'm working, even though I'm always super busy and producing volume in real estate here. The minute that I get free, I can just walk by the beach and just take a deep breath and just enjoy for a moment and then refreshen up and get back to the hustle again. I can see, Jennifer, you're smiling there, you know that drill. Yeah, that's the Dominican life, and I'm absolutely blessed for it. The more and more people that are actually investing here, they're becoming long-term residences because it's hard to taste the life here and walk away from it. But on top of that, there's a lot of great things that Dominican Republic is actually achieving in the last few years, and one of them is the high accelerated economy growth in this country. So 5% year-over-year growth despite the pandemic. The Dominican Republic had the most tourism coming into this country. This country did not lock down. I was very blessed because I traveled through the lockdown here and I was able to do my researches and decide to move down here, and they actually had the least mortality rate for the pandemic. So that was interesting. And they actually, ever since the numbers are just keep going up and up. And on top of that, a lot of people actually relocating here. And continuous just the tourism growth. The most visited country in the Caribbean, 6.4 million tourists in 2019, and 2.7 million of that was Americans. Secure investment, obviously the high capital growth on the rising property market. As I said, I bought my property and I was able to capitalize quite good in the last 3 months that I owned it, and then I made some cash. I exited with my exit strategy, and I'm able to now invest my money into Laguna City and buy multiple properties instead of only one. I'm not even going to get into how much money the first owners made because I was the second owner bought it, and now there is a third owner that owns, and we actually had a waiting list for Esmeralda, which is the mini sample of the Laguna City in Sosua Ocean Village. So it was absolutely a success for them. So I decided to come up with 27 buildings now instead of 3. So, and high capital gain on the properties and investments, estimate of 6% per year. I have some investors that are making up to 20% on their investment, and obviously there isn't many properties like that, but there is absolutely room to make a great ROI on your investment. Strong legal board frame, that was very important for me as an investor and as somebody that relocated to Dominican Republic and any other country that I was planning on moving to make sure that my investment was solid. I traveled to Mexico and many other countries, and I know that in many places you don't actually have a actual ownership of your property. In some countries you lease it, from some countries you it's just like Canada or states that there's a postal registration on your property. But in Dominican, as foreign investors and buyers, we have 100% right over our properties, just like a local Dominican person. So that was a huge benefit for me. And I was looking into investing, so thumbs up to that. And progressive government. Their government is actually fantastic. I'm very proud after being here and seeing how much money they're actually investing, especially in the North Coast. Mind you, the new president is from Puerto Plata, so he is spending a lot of money in the North Coast, and that's bringing a lot of blessings up here. North Coast was blessed from before because we are the wind capital of Dominican Republic, and many people travel here yearly for surf competitions. But in the past 2 to 3 years, there has been loads and loads and loads of money coming to the North Coast, and it's just like booming the area. Perfect. And another great point, the World Bank ranks Dominican Republic as a top developing country for foreigners, trade services in mining, pharmaceuticals, textiles, electronic components, retail, medical supplies, and tourism investment across the spectrum of international business and investment. So it's not just what we are saying, it's also, you can go online and do some researches for yourself and kind of find out why Dominican Republic and why we have been so successful here in order to bring investors here. And if you're looking into kind of spread your wealth, please start looking into Dominican Republic. I have flourished here myself in a very short time, and I can personally vouch based on my own personal experiences. So the central bank projected the economy would end the year with a growth rate of 6.8% up to 7.1%, placing DR as the fastest growing economy in Latin America. So that's another great thing. They're a very small island, but with a lot of blessings here. We have the world's most profitable gold mines here. We are the biggest importers of bananas and a bunch of other stuff that is just like, besides the tourism and all that, that makes this country a great country. We actually produce more fruit than we can consume here. So they export a lot of their foods like mango, avocado, name it, right? Like we walk on the street here and we're able to pick mangoes and avocados just wild on the street that is growing. So that's another blessing. You will never stay hungry in this country. So why Sosua Ocean Village? Why Sosua Ocean Village? First of all, for me, is because like it's an oceanfront, one of the only oceanfront gated communities that offers you condominium and also villas at the same time. It is kind of like a resort, but in Airbnb style, if you will. You know, some people go to the all-inclusive hotels. Here, if you want to have the comfort of your home, but also have all the amenities, Sosua Ocean Village is probably the only place that offers that I know of, and I'm in the real estate business. So they have 160 acres of land here. Most of it is already built with villas. They have 2 ocean clubs. They have the biggest swimming pool that is saltwater in the Dominican Republic. They have solar shuttles, and they have actually solar lights that they provide the community with. So that provides you 24/7 non-interrupted electricity. They have 24/7 security and video cameras. I can probably tell you their security is sometimes annoying. Like, you know, that's how tight they are. Like, I'm one of the owners there. Every time I go there, they're like, yeah, use your card and to come in. They just like to have everybody monitored when they come in and out to make sure that everything is being sort of like monitored, and there's a tracing of people coming and going, which I appreciated for my guests and my own safety. Even though Dominican and Sosua Cabaret is pretty safe, but it's still appreciated for people that don't know the area. They do have their own water wells and central sewage system, so the water is never issue in Sosua Ocean Village. They actually have one of the best controlled water systems for their swimming pool and also for their tap water, even though we don't really drink the tap water here. Still being able to brush your teeth or cook with it and stuff like that, it's very important to have controlled water. As I mentioned, 24/7 electricity with solar panels. They have a solar field here, internet and cable TV, ATM, which is not very usual for communities to have ATM on board, but they do have it. 4 swimming pools and 1 Olympic-sized pool. 3 restaurants, Maria, Laguna, and Santa Maria. So they're on site and they are all oceanfront, so you can go and actually enjoy a great meal. And also they have pool there, you can swim, have lunch or dinner, or enjoy a coffee as you're enjoying your time. Their gym, my most favorite. I can't replace my gym with any other gym in the area. So now that I'm not an owner, I end up paying double the price for my gym membership, but no other gym can beat their gym in terms of the facility and the machines that they have. So I continue to use it. So that's great. Sports ground, volleyball, basketball, mini football. They also have outdoor exercise center as well. So if you don't want to pay for the gym, you can always use the gym outside. Kids entertainment and playgrounds. They have a playground that is like more adult friendly as well. So it's actually hardcore. Sandy Beach, they have 3 beach accesses. 3 of them, all 3 are from the restaurant area. You don't necessarily have to use the restaurant to access the beach. You can just walk through the restaurant and enjoy the beach time. 4 tennis courts, indoor and outdoor. Actually, tennis courts are backing right into the Laguna City project. So you will, as you drive through the security, you will pass the tennis courts and you will enter the project. Ocean view spa, and for ladies, they do nails and stuff like that in there, massage and all that. So they also have 2 water parks with 6 slides, 10 attractions, 2 pools. The great part about the white water parks, one of them is paid. So if you're not an owner, you can go to the paid one. So if people are coming from outside, they just go to the paid one because they obviously don't have owner's card to enter the facility. But if you're an owner or your guests that are staying, if you're going to Airbnb your place, then they can just use the card and enter the water park, the one in the back, for free, which is fantastic to have. It's usually very quiet, very calm. It's back into the ocean, so you can sit there. They have an Olympic pool there. They have 3 pools there, and the gym and everything is there as well. So come on down here. I'll take you for an exclusive tour, and you can get to visit it yourself. Prince and Melissa was just here. We went and we had a great walk around there. I go there every day pretty much. It's one of my most favorite places as I work out there as well. So now in this slide, we do have this story of Sosua Ocean Village. So Sosua Ocean Village actually have been around for quite a while. It's turning to 16 years now that they've been around. Their first foundation was put down in 2006. They started building condominiums back in 2007. Before that, it was just a virgin land, 610 acre. That's a huge facility. They started building condos, and then they started their clubhouse, and they started building more and more villas, and then they added more condos again. They have been nothing but successful in the area, and they have let nobody down with their investments in the Sosua Ocean Village. I have some clients sometimes wonder if they don't know the area with the big projects like this, because they hear from this and that, how about if the project doesn't finish? Sosua Ocean Village actually is a quite wealthy neighborhood, and the owners are very committed. They actually have the budget to work with. They usually buy their construction material ahead of the time, so they have everything budgeted properly, and they just built. Labor cost is very cheap in Dominican Republic, and this project will be as successful as every other one that they have built in their facility. As you can see, the distribution of the owners in Sosua Ocean Village, obviously Americans and Canadians are in the higher ranking, as well as the Dominican original people, Russians, Germany, Italy, Great Britain, Spain, and Venezuela. When I see Dominican Republic in there, I know Dominicans trust the process. You know, a lot of Dominicans, actually rich Dominicans, invest in Sosua Cabarete area because it's a very tourist friendly, Airbnb friendly area. So when I see Dominican Republic's name in there, that's actually super amazing and promising for me. Before I went through this slide a couple of days ago, I actually didn't know that there's that many Dominicans own property there. But actually, I'm very happy to see that. But Canadians and Americans obviously are in top ranking as well. Perfect. We are back at the condominium. So as I mentioned earlier, there's 27 buildings, 513 units in total. Pricing starts at $109,000. And it goes up to $165,000. Mind you, this is only pricing for phase one. As we sell out and release more phases, the prices will go up 5 to 10% depending on what the builder decides to increase the prices at. It's just like in Canada and US, the more phases it sells, the more prices go higher. So at the below the page, you can see the apartment sizes. There's two different kind of studios, 40 square meter, 46 square meter, and the one bedrooms at 59 square meter. Which their studios are actually pretty good in sizes. What I would say just to be paying attention is the 40 square meter studio has quite a tiny balcony, I would say, but you can still fit 2 chairs and 3 chairs if you want, and a table. But I think I was spoiled with my studio that is 46 square meter with like a generous size of a balcony. But when you look at the investment price, $109,000, when you're Airbnb in it or when you come in to stay yourself, you don't really care. Most of your time is going to be spent by the pool, by the ocean, discovering the city anyways. But I see myself, if I pay attention to something, I always like to bring it up to my investors, so you guys are aware of it as well and make your decisions accordingly. As mentioned, financing available. As we go forward, I am going to talk about the financing as well. And here we are. So you can see the type of the unit: studio 41 meter, 47 meter, and 1 bedroom of 59. You can see the floors on the side, and you can see the pricing accordingly. Obviously, as higher you go, the more expensive the units are. There is an elevator on all the buildings, so it doesn't matter how high you go, you still have an elevator. So you can look at this is the financing option if you decide to finance it. So the first payment to reserve the unit, actually my bad, I'm sorry. This is if you were to, this is if you were to finance the unit. So first payment would be $5,000 to reserve the unit. There will be $600 lawyer fee to process your agreement, and that's about it to purchase your house. At the promise of sale, when you're going to sign, after you do your deposit, around 2 to 4 weeks after you leave your deposit, it's time to sign your promise of sale, and that's when you will put down total of 30%, including your $5,000 reservation deposit. So I'm just gonna use the first one as an example, 27,700 will be due at the time of signing your promise of sale, which is approximately 2 to 4 weeks after you do your reservation and 5,000 deposit. After that, at the time of breaking the grounds, which is 2 to 3 months down from now pretty much, because they already started the groundwork for the condominiums, you will put down another 20%, and that is it for your down payment. Now you're totaled at 50%. You will wait all the way until the great construction is done, guys. I need you guys to highlight this part because it's very important for you guys to know this, investors. It's very important, but I'm going to tell you also the good sides of it that you can highlight as well. So once the great construction is over, and what I mean by great construction, once the walls are up, once the windows are in and doors are in, and they're going to move forward, doing and finishing the interior, your monthly payments will start. Okay. Once your monthly payments start, 3 to 5 months after that, you will get your keys for your condo. So because this is a private financing, you don't deal with the banks, you don't deal with the mortgage, you don't deal with approval. It's not showing on your debt to service ratio. Sosua Ocean Village, they have the exact same finance terms for their Esmeralda units. They're mirroring the exact same concept to their Laguna City project. So as soon as the great construction is done, you will start paying your mortgage. And that is approximately going to be summer or fall of 2023. And after 3 to 5 months, you will receive your keys. However, your maintenance fee does not start until you receive your keys. So that's when your obligation of taking care of your property begins. So I need you guys to highlight that because that's very important. If you're somebody that wants to immediately make their money, that's not going to work. You have to wait a couple months before you start generating ROI. However, there's other great things that will kind of balance it for you, and I'm going to get to that to give you the advantage of it. So financing is over 5 years at 6.5% annually. The great news, there is no penalty. So if you decide to sell your property, you can sell it without a penalty if you pay off your mortgage earlier. So that's a thumbs up. So 24/7 security, this is what your maintenance fee will include. 24/7 security with camera surveillance system pretty much everywhere in the community. There's some water that is included into your condo. I personally never ever went over my water consumption because there's actually more than enough water that they include into your HOA. Garbage removal and landscaping, maintenance, and obviously all the common grounds that you'll be using at no cost to you. And first monthly electricity fee is $25. Whether you unplug your fridge and close your doors and don't use the condo, you have to pay $25 electricity bill because they use solar panels, obviously, for the common areas. You just have to contribute to that. Oops. My bad. Use finger package. Anyways, so and here we are. If you decide to purchase the property in cash, so again, you pay $5,000 in reservation, promise of sale. You pay your 30%, including your $5,000 original reservation fee. At the time of breaking the grounds, you pay $21,800, and obviously I'm using the first one as an example. At the time of break construction, remember if you finance, your finance starts, or if you're buying the property outright, you pay another lump sum, and at the occupancy, you pay another lump sum to close your property and get your keys. The information below is the same information as we use, and you have the maintenance fees for different size units on the right hand side. And I will email you all of this so you can have it and study after our talk. And the great part of it, now all eyes are on the money. So here we have created the profitability sheet for you guys to be able to overview it and look over it. As I said, we owned a property in Esmeralda, which is the exact same concept units. My office actually manages about 6 properties there, 1 bedrooms, and also studios. So these numbers are actually very realistic, what we charge and daily, monthly basis for our clients who's coming to stay. So you will be able to go through these numbers and study to see what the cap rates and everything are for the properties. So you will be able to easily create your ROI sheet, which we already have it for you. You just need to go over it and see what the profitability level is for the money that you're investing. So here you can see on the right hand side, you have starting from 12% all the way up to 15% net cap rate per year that you can create as an income. We have the prices for peak season, for low season, average rate, occupancy rate, annual income, net profitability, electricity costs, cable and internet, maintenance, and total of the overhead. Mind you, there's only one thing that I want to add to that. If you decide to use a property management company and not do the Airbnb yourself, obviously there's going to be some money shaved off of the total cap rate. Some companies, depends who you work with, but we are going to offer property management with these investments anyways. And market norm is 20% on short-term rentals, which is anything below 1 month is considered a short-term rental, and 10% on the long-term rentals that will be paid to your property management company, and they will be taking care of your cleanings, your check-ins and check-outs and maintenance and all that. And you will have only 1 point of contact to deal with your property, and pretty much your only job is going to be count your money in your bank account, and we will be automatically depositing your income to your bank. So that's pretty good. But you have an option of managing it yourself as well. Some people like to do better, manage their Airbnb. You're more than welcome to do so. Sosua Ocean Village and our property management company will have an option for your check-ins and check-outs for a flat fee, as well as the cleaning, which in Airbnb usually include the cleaning fee and tackle it on your clients anyway, so it will not cost you any money to keep your place clean after the checkout. Perfect. So remember, guys, I mentioned to you that when the great construction is done, then you have to start paying for your payments and your finance. Here is a great way of kind of balancing that payment. And the great news is these units, they're all registered under Comfortor law, which is the tax exemption law in Dominican Republic. There's very few projects that they need to invest in so much money into it that they get entitled for a Comfortor, and Sosua Ocean Village have managed to register these projects under Comfortor, which is fantastic. Highlighted, please. Not every project is under this, because sometimes I talk about some, like for example, this project, and then we end up buying another house for my clients and they expect to have the tax exemption. Absolutely not the case. And very, very few properties are entitled to have the tax exemption, and this happens to be one of them. So you will be saving 3% on the tax, and I'm going to bring my clients as an example today because we were talking about it. Their unit is about $155,000 to purchase it. 3% tax, 3 to 4% taxes on that is going to be $4,000 to $6,000. So you will be saving on that. Like you're not going to be paying the transfer tax when you're going to transfer your property, as well as the yearly property tax. That's also exempt, which is equivalent to 1% of the property yearly. I'm going to leave this video. You read the fine print because Dominican has a special way of doing things. If your property is under certain value or above certain value, if you own multiple properties, you can qualify for the tax exemption. So please go through that. Each US dollar is 54 Dominican pesos. So if you want to divide that money up and find out how much that is in American dollar, please feel free to do so. Deduction on a taxable income. So another great thing, these properties are also entitled for to be exempt from the income tax every year. So when you're going to rent them out and make some rental income, you don't need to pay taxes on them. Again, the fine prints are there. Please read it and get familiar with the contractor law in Dominican Republic. And also, as foreigners, another benefit is you can use your property and put it as an expense on your taxes and get some tax exemptions and savings there. And also, another important part is the only project that endorsed by the contractor law receive these benefits, as I mentioned. So please keep that in mind that not every property in the Dominican Republic will be entitled to have the tax exemption. The benefits only apply to the first home buyers of the property. If the owners decide to sell, the new buyer will be responsible for paying the taxes. So if you go to resell your property, you cannot promise to someone else that they will have the tax exemption. So it's just the first time buyers of the properties that will be able to use it. Not the first time home buyers, the first owners of these properties. Yes. And now, from now on, we have the renders of the Laguna City. As you can see, when I was visiting the site, I actually got to notice how big of a property it is. My thing was because there's going to be 27 buildings. How close are the buildings to each other and all that? Damn, the place is actually quite big. Like, there is no chance of anybody seeing each other from, I'm not talking about the buildings that how they're gonna stagger side by side, but I'm talking about your neighbor immediately across from you. Buildings are actually quiet, far apart from each other, which is fantastic. But in my opinion, because I don't like to always have my curtains closed or whatever, because my neighbor is too close to me and they can see inside of my house. So it's actually a huge area that they will be building. And yeah, I'm just gonna go through these slides so you guys can get familiar with the grounds. It's gonna be very close to the water park, and you're gonna have a solar, obviously, shuttle service to go around inside the gated community. Obviously, SOB is a huge place, so if you decide to go to Maria restaurant or go to Santa Fe, then you will easily be able to have the transportation for free from here to there to the restaurant. Obviously, these guards are good to keep people away from the water. They have actually a bar and a restaurant area there as well that you will be able to get some refreshments if you're in the area. Playgrounds for the kids. Mind you, there's another big playground behind it that is not in the community, and also there, I mean, it's immediately inside Laguna City, and there's a huge playground, even for big babies. Inside the Sosua Ocean Village that the kids can take advantage of. This is the bar and coffee shop area. The lagoon. I'm pretty excited. I have heard them for 1 minute. And I just can't stop watching these. One of the great things that I like about this community and how they designed it is they have the driveways around the buildings. So there is no car, no motorcycle, nothing is entering. Is actually illegal for any motor vehicle, like motor operating vehicle or anything to enter the facility. So it's actually super safe and super sound if anybody travels there with their kids and stuff like that. Mind you, it's very it's not much of a kids area because it's not 2 to 3 bedrooms, but if somebody was to travel there with their kids, it's gonna be very safe even for adults. So if you decide to go walk around, run around, you can definitely do that. You can ride your bicycles and exercise as you wish. Perfect. Q&A time. Bring it up, guys. Let me know questions that you have. I'll be more than happy to answer them all to you. Please don't forget to unmute yourself when you are going to ask your questions.
I believe some questions have been thrown in the chat.
Okay. I am going to be very straight up honest with you guys. This is my first time that I'm running this Zoom call by myself. I usually have assistants doing it for me, but today I was left alone because my assistants are dedicated to do other things. So I'm going to find our chat area and answer all the questions that are asked. But in the meanwhile, please let me know if you guys have any questions that haven't been asked, and I will be more than happy to answer them for you.
There's a question here about how the construction phases are going to start and when construction will begin. If you could touch base on that, that would be awesome.
Perfect. Yeah, if you can read me the questions, I'll definitely answer all of them. The construction will actually begin in 2 to 3 months. They're already working on the grounds. They have done the pipings and all that. The electricity and wiring is all been done under the ground. And now they're starting to complete the grounds and start the work for phase 1, which is approximately 2 to 3 months when the construction will begin for building number 1 to 3 that we currently have for sale.
What is the estimated completion for phase 1?
The estimated completion for phase 1 is the first quarter of 2024.
Amazing, thank you.
You're welcome. I appreciate you reading the questions because I tried to find the chat. Oh, I see the chat. It was right in front of me.
What are the current incentives that are being offered by Sosua Ocean Village? If you could touch base on those again.
Yeah, the current incentive, I think the biggest of all of them is just having the contour and the tax exemption. I think that's huge on its own. I buy and sell properties down here quite often, and every time I buy and sell, I pay taxes on buying side, obviously, when I register the property. So having the option of not paying taxes on your rental income and also on your yearly property tax and also transfer tax when you buy it, I think that's a huge value on investing and buying in Laguna City and SOV. On top of that, they are currently offering 6 months free gym membership to the buyers, which I was quite jealous. I pay quite a bit of money for my gym membership now that I'm not an owner. The owners get 50% off on the old amenities in the area. So it's gym, any of the facilities that is not free to enter. Like for example, their their Santa Fe Ocean Club. You guys get 50% off if you're the owner, and you get 10% off of your meals and stuff like that. And that's it for now. And I guess one of the biggest advantages also is buying in phase 1 will just save you more money, and you don't have to pay more when the phase 2 and so on gets released.
Would you be able to confirm if individuals are purchasing in phase one, for example, myself as an investor, if I'm going to be using this as Airbnb, those first 6 months, do I, the owner, only get that incentive, or am I able to sign that off to a friend, a family member, a renter, anything like that? Do you know?
So you definitely can, because there's two different kinds of cards. So as owners and as guests, you receive cards that will allow that permits your access to the area. So let's say if you have your guest staying and you're okay with them to use your owner's card, then they can definitely have access to all those, like for example, the free gym. As long as they use your access card, they can definitely use it. But I have to ask if you can like technically transfer the name to somebody else, which I don't think. This is just the offers for the owners. But if they have your card, they can definitely access all the benefits.
Amazing, thank you. Another question, would there be any furniture packages available, or what would be your suggestion for that solution?
As RealtorDR, we are actually working on facilitating the furniture packages. We are working with companies to have kind of put together. One of my colleagues, actually, Michelle, she's going to be doing that, and she will have furniture packages that we can recommend you guys. And if you don't want to come on the island necessarily to buy it, you will know, for example, if you wanted to get this package with the fridge, with the bed, with the microwave and all that, how much the package is and what it looks like, and we can just facilitate it for you at your property at cost. Obviously, not extra cost, but like what the furniture package is. So it's a pretty much one-stop shop. We give you your property management. We will help you throughout the entire process if you don't want to necessarily travel here to do that. I doubt
really
it.
eases the mind. That's great. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Prince's question is, Sosua Ocean Village has an absolutely amazing beach club. Can you let us know what discounts owners may get on admission or food?
Question. So, for example, again, I'm going to bring Santa Fe as an example because they have 2 restaurants in the vicinity in just the Santa Fe area. One is underground aquarium restaurant, and one is a pirates ship, pretty much restaurant. You as the owner to enter the vicinity, let's say you want to go and have a full day feeling like you're in a resort, right? It's because it's a very resort feeling. It's like huge with a lot of day beds and stuff like that. First of all the lounge areas and day beds are free for the owners and for anybody that enters there. Let's say if the price is $40, as an owner you get 50% off, so you will pay $20 to enter the vicinity. And don't quote me on the price exactly, I'm just bringing this as an example. And for your food, you will receive 10% discount. However, if you enter the vicinity after 6 p.m., you will only pay $10 to get in, and that $10 will go towards your consumables. So if you drink, if you eat, whatever, that will be just going towards that. So pretty much no money out of your pocket to enter, and obviously you can use the pools and everything in the area.
Amazing. And Melissa has also just posted a video, guys. If you want to take a direct look at what that ocean club looks like, there is a video that she has gone ahead and posted. There's another question that's come through that says, in terms of the property management that you mentioned that will or could be in place, is this a trust and proven company that's already working there, or is this something that RealtorDR is setting up? Which is also trusted, but because it'll be new, I just would like you to address that.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, RealtorDR, including myself, we are working on exclusive property management company for Laguna City. We do heavily believe that if there was a dedicated property management company that just did all of these units at the same time, it will be very well use of the energy, and also we can moderate the price better on the units, and we can give everybody a fair chance to put their units. At the meanwhile, you can also advertise your property and have an extra Airbnb option that if you find like, let's say your friends are coming, your colleagues are coming, and you want to let them stay at your place, you can definitely book it yourself. And in that case, you don't have to pay the property management fee for the booking. Most places here that do the property management, they do not allow you that. And I think that's very lucrative. We should have multiple points and multiple sources for you to be able to book your property, right? Not necessarily trust the management company to do it, but also you can book it as well. So that's what our goal. We don't want to limit our clients, and we want to be able to give you the opportunity that you can moderate your price. Just like, imagine like a hotel or resort, right? All the rooms are same price and everybody has the same opportunity to book. Not like this guy books it at $60 and then the next guy books it at $120 and then your neighbor books more than you. So if you have a company that can kind of monopolize it and use the same pricing for the units, I think everybody will have more chance. However, I will also recommend you guys other successful companies in the area that we work with, that they have longer experience in the area for rentals. But again, in my opinion, I think as an investor, I would want to work with a place that is just dedicated for Laguna City, and that's what our goal is. Not part of a RealtorDR, I would say. RealtorDR already is a big company and doesn't necessarily see the time and have the sources to do the property management. But as a RealtorDR members, we will be facilitating that.
And so, Linda, you did mention earlier that you and your colleagues had invested in the mimicked version of Laguna City, which was Esmeralda within SOV. Is that something that you guys were already practicing, where you were renting your units on Airbnb and had success? And can you share a little bit with us how that worked for you guys, as I know that's your plan to carry into Laguna City?
Yes, absolutely. So with my colleagues, in total, we owned about, if I'm not mistaken, 11 units in Esmeralda, which there was only 3 buildings there, and each building has 8, 16, 19 units in it. So, and most of them are Airbnbs. Me and my colleagues, what we did, we were kind of moderating the price all at the same time together, raise the price together, bring the price down together, and we all had a fair chance of the rental at the same time. It was kind of like a practice version for us to see how it works, and it worked fantastic. Esmeralda is actually has been a very, 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 very successful project. I'm actually heartbroken for selling my property, but I'm an investor and I can't have emotional attachment to my investment. So it has turned out great. I hope that answered your question.
Absolutely. So I don't see any more questions come in right now, guys. I think, Linda, you wanted to run this meeting till 10, so there's still a few more minutes. Please use it up. We'd love to hear. Okay, here's another one.
Perfect. I love it.
Can you talk briefly about other entertainment options that are outside of the development in the town of Sosua? This is coming from Prince. He got the experience and had a fantastic local brewery. There was amazing restaurants where he was able to communicate both in English and in Spanish. So you'd like to hear a little bit more and share that with the people on the call.
Absolutely. So Sosua and Cabarete are both very similar but very different in the same time. So Sosua Ocean Village is actually located in Sosua, and I would say with the car is about 5 minutes drive to everything in town. You're literally 3 minutes drive to the grocery store, 5 minutes to all the bars and the restaurants in the area. We have world-class restaurants here. We have breweries, as Prince mentioned. We have restaurants with the playgrounds for the kids. We have bars, we have clubs, we have pool area, pool tables, and bowling alleys. You just name it, right? Like it's the sky is the limit here, and the ocean is literally in probably 5 minutes walk from the where you're gonna be purchasing. So actually, one more thing that I would like to highlight about Laguna City itself. Some people are not even gonna see a value in leaving Laguna City because of all the things that SOV has to offer itself. Right behind actually the condos that are being built in Laguna City, Sosua Ocean Village has its own brewery, has its own karaoke salon, has its own obviously water park and all that. So within your 2 minutes walking distance, you're gonna have all of this, but within the 5 minutes drive, you're gonna have all of the other amazing beaches, the restaurants, the bars, and everything like that. Thank you very much, Prince, for highlighting that, because that's very important for people to know actually what's available within their vicinity. We have monkey jungle zip lining. You will see a lot of people just renting ATVs and zipping through the town and enjoying their time. It's just the sky's the limit here for people that are coming to enjoy their island time.
I'm assuming a lot of this will be outlined in the email you're going to send to everybody. One more question that had come up was, are there any floor plans or rendering photos that you're going to be sharing with the people on this call today?
Some of the rendered photos were already in the call, but I absolutely do have the floor plans, and I will definitely include them in the email that I will be sending it out. No problem. And thank you for asking, because like I'm a very visual person. In order for me to invest, I need to know what I'm buying and what all the units are situated. I'll definitely include that in there.
So I think this is going to conclude our questions. If there's any more, please feel comfortable. But one more is, can you also talk about, as a foreigner, how they're able to get groceries or other supplies when they visit? What is it, an easy process, or is it something that you're going to need assistance with?
Yes, absolutely. First of all the grocery stores here, you can get it delivered. Just like in Canada, we have a company that delivers your groceries. You have the same option here, even for your food and stuff like that. You can have everything supplied to you. That's not a worry. There's a grocery store literally in probably 5 minutes walking distance from the vicinity, from the condos, that you can just walk and buy your groceries if you don't want to drive to the bigger grocery store. In Dominican, actually, we have everything imported here. Like if you don't want to get local stuff, you can pay a little bit extra and get all the brands that you know in the United States. But obviously, we like to use local brands here. They're more cost efficient and they're tastier, obviously. But in terms of the groceries and stuff like that, it's super easy. You have Super Pola Plaza, which is actually in the same plaza as my office right now. It's within the 5 minutes drive. You can walk as well, but it's going to be about 12 to 13 minutes walk, I would say. However, there is a grocery store within 5 minutes of the place that you decide to do it yourself.
Amazing. So there's two more questions here. There's real estate agents as well as brokers on the call who I'm sure are going to have many interested parties. One of the questions coming from Alexandra is, can you please share the marketing materials so that we can bring these to our clients?
Absolutely. I will share all these information. And guys, if you do have any specific question, or if you need anything specific, please feel free to write down my information. I'm going to give it to you right now, and I will also have it to send to you, obviously, via my email. My email address is Linda, LINDA, @RealtorDR.com. I'll be more than happy to share all the marketing and advertising materials that we have in a shared drive for you to use it. It is a very investors friendly, and I'm absolutely open to co-broke these deals and work with you and your investors based on a referral paid way of doing a deal. Obviously, you guys know, if you're in the real estate world, you know how that goes. So please let me know if you guys have any wants or needs in terms of pitching these investment option to your clients.
Amazing. So you have answered everyone's questions.
Yeah, Chris has one more question about the healthcare options that might be available if I have an emergency. Actually, fantastic question, Prince. Like, I want you in all of my meetings going forward, just so you know. So CMT Hospital is actually only 5 minutes drive. It's actually, again, right before the grocery store, the plaza that I'm in right now. So you will be less than 5 minutes drive to the hospital and the emergency room, which is great. It's right in the middle of the town. I'm sorry. And their fees are actually quite reasonable. However, usually people, when they travel, they have, what's it called? They have insurance through their credit cards. But let's say, just so if you decide to move down here and you're wondering what the cost of the insurance is, you can get full insurance for about $600 per person per year. It's unbelievable. I come from a country, Canada, that everything is supposed to be free, but then you wait 3 years to get a surgery done, and by the time you get a surgery done, you end up breaking your leg because you didn't get your surgery done on time. So here is actually the healthcare system is fantastic, and there is not as much of a waiting time as we have in the US and stuff like that. Immediately you get things done, and then you get your insurance company to pay for the fees. So it's super cheap here to get insured. So as a Canadian, I usually don't mind not having free benefits.
Linda, there are so many good questions coming in here because you're giving us amazing information, and some individuals specifically already have investors in mind. That Melissa is wondering if you would be available to answer referral questions if there are investors or agents that are out of country. There's lots of investors in South Florida who want to know where to put their money, and they may get better ROI out of country. So would you be available to answer those referral questions?
Please do. Please bring them on. Any questions that you have, I'll be more than happy to share my peace of mind for you.
I just want to mention as well, guys, I did jump on here late. Linda's great. If you book a time with her, she is undivided. So with that, Linda at RealtorDR email that she has just shared, please, if you want to schedule an appointment with your referred client, that's what I've been doing. And she has been amazing in showing up to meet with those people, virtual viewings, giving them the offer information that we've all gone over today. And at this point, everyone's thanking you. So I'm going to do the same. Thank you very much. And all of us are looking forward to more information.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, guys, for taking the time and joining. I'm very excited to finally have a kickstart for this project. We have been waiting for it for a while. And we have to keep things very low key because our office was getting exclusivity of it, and we were just waiting for the time and details to be finalized. It's Sosua Ocean Village. I'm a huge fan of the project myself, and I am proud to be one of the agents who's promoting it exclusively. Again, I'm available at any time you guys have any questions. My WhatsApp number is +1 519 569 9869. So please feel free to WhatsApp me. You know, realtors life never stops. My family actually doesn't like it, but you know, for me, hustle never stops. And so anytime you guys have any questions, please let me know, and I'll be more than happy to share any knowledge and information that I have and spread the wealth of the knowledge in Dominican Republic. Never forget, don't ever tie all your eggs in one basket. Always spread the wealth, let your money to work for you. Dominican Republic is a fantastic place. We live where most people vacation, and that's a blessing of the life that I have. And my duty is to make sure that I share this blessing with you guys and give you guys the opportunity to do the same thing as I'm doing. I was a real estate investor back in Canada. And now I have the opportunity to come to Dominican Republic and flourish here. Hi, Jennifer. Great to see you again right before I leave. Fantastic. You guys have a fantastic evening. This was such a great webinar. And thank you very much for everybody to be engaged in it. Love you all. And I look forward to seeing most of you guys in Dominican. Awesome. Take care and see you guys soon.